Hello folks, welcome to another video in the Microsoft Sim. I hope this one finds you safe and well and happily simming. The atmosphere here, geez, gives me shivers in me timbers. It's a bit on the cold side, I reckon, eh? Light breeze, look at that, that's quite ominous, isn't it? Ominous. Don't ask me to spell that, I can barely say it. Folks, this will be a Modders Monday episode featuring the aircraft on your screen. This is the Baron, the G58, that is available via the, Premium Deluxe edition of the Sim, I think. You have to get the Premium Deluxe. And we're going to be looking at a mod for it. A mod done by a guy who's done a few others and may have featured in a recent video where we looked at his mod for the Cirrus. So he's done some work on the Baron over time, quite a few iterations of the mod. We'll have a look at what he's done on a short-ish flight, 140 odd miles today. We're in Canada. Let me fire up a little nav map and show you exactly where we are and where we're going. As I mentioned, we're in Canada today, the western side of the fine nation of Canada. And look, just a disclaimer up front, folks, if you would prefer your flight simulation videos to be chirp-free, feel free to stop this one right now. The birds are in fine voice this morning. I expect them to accompany me throughout the entire video. But if that's not your thing, yeah, maybe look elsewhere. I won't take offence. But otherwise, welcome aboard. We begin our journey in a place called Revelstoke. And down here, that's Charlie, Yankee, Romeo, Victor, Revelstoke. And what did I say? 140 miles, 122. Really should do some more preparation. And we're heading up to Jasper. Pretty much straight up the guts. Up to Jasper, we've got some hills. Looks like we've got some weather to deal with. Probably about 40 minutes or something like that on the Baron. I have never flown the Baron in this sim. I've flown it in other sims, but I haven't had the pleasure. I know that Baron's a pretty popular aircraft. I remember stumbling across a Baron during my early training days and thinking, yeah, I'll be flying that one day. Never happened. But I still remember that moment. Very, very impressive aircraft. Anyway, folks, let's fire it up and go for a fly. Alright, engine start has been achieved. Local Barrows 2982. We've got 12,000 plugged in. I don't know what the lowest safe is in this part of the world, but 12 seems to be okay, I hope. Well, there's one way to find out, and that's to actually go flying. Looks like we'll probably have to make a departure down off 1-2. Kind of a right climbing turn is my guess. Gain us some altitude and then head across up to Jasper. What do you reckon? I reckon that's what we do. Fantastic G1000 NXI displays in this aircraft. The Baron that... Let me just release the parking brake. The Baron that I first fell in love with... Well, that might be a bit of a stretch. The Baron that I first admired back in the day certainly didn't have a G1000, but it did have some digital instruments, which at the time I thought was pretty bloody impressive. I remember looking inside of it, beautiful seats, and it just looked the business, right? And you knew it was some rich prick owned it because, well, it's a Baron. They've never been particularly cheap, and it was parked under a carport, right? It actually had shade. All the other aircraft in the area were parked out in the open. But the Baron got its own spot on concrete with shade. He thought, oh, there's some rich prick owns this. And I remember looking inside and thinking, this thing's got digital instruments. Wow. I was easily impressed, folks. Some would argue he's still quite easily impressed. Oh, that's alright. So yeah, runway 12 for our departure here. We're going to need to use the synthetic vision, I reckon. Comes in handy on days like today where you can't see the strip. Oh, there we go. We've got enough of a strip. Little, well, I was going to make a comment there, but I won't because I don't have Jude visible. Had I had Jude visible, I would have made a comment about what the current sort of runway picture resembles. And those of you that have been following this channel for a while, you'll insert your own commentary at this point, I'm sure. Alright. Those jokes do get tired after a while. In fact, are these videos getting tired for others? Or just for me? I don't know, it's a bit hard, folks, to be honest, to come up with ideas for videos after you do the first 300. You kind of do struggle for ideas, and I'm also really struggling just to sim at present in recent times. 2 days now in a row that I haven't even been able to start the sim. Just doesn't start, and then wants to start in safe mode, which is all fine and good, but then you don't get all of your community goodness. And yeah, today absolutely no changes to the community stuff, and we're having a little bit of trouble keeping it on the strip. We've lost our visibility of the lines. Synthetic vision is helping us out here. Yeah, no changes whatsoever. Bit of a lottery. Click launch, and today she starts. So hence why you're getting a Mudders Monday episode on a day that isn't Monday. Just because I'm trying to take advantage of a sim that actually started. You know, you've got to take your chances while the simming gods give them to you, I suppose. I hope others are finding a much better experience. I feel like I mention a performance issue or some sort of issue in just about every video lately. So I apologise for that, but it's starting to get a little bit tiring for the old fella. And this is where you as an audience say, yeah, it's pretty tiring to listen to too, pal. Anyway, shall we do this thing? So we'll go with one stage of flat. First time flying it, folks, so be gentle. 35 degrees Fahrenheit. That's pretty cool, isn't it? Like, literally. It's cold. I think everything else is good to go. Landing lights are down here. We'll get those two on using this one. There we go. Strobies can come on using that one. What's this one down here? What's this light here? Ice. Oh, yeah, we'll put that on. Why not? We can put the floodlights on. Well, that might be a bit bright. Oh, that's alright. We'll use that. Approach flap is set, or takeoff flap. We should be alright. How's our trim situation? How do we know what our trim situation is? It's down here. Now, if I modify my trim, how do I know if that's right? There's probably a... we'll have a look at the documentation for this mod, and he's probably mentioned exactly what the trim should be. Anyway, so climbing right turn, and then we'll kind of overfly the field and take up our track down towards Jasper, or up towards Jasper. Looking at a rotate of 85, that sounds about right. We'll get the bars happening. Will the bars happen here? No, that doesn't work. The flight director bars for takeoff? No, it doesn't. Okay, we're all fine. I don't actually like that light. Floodlights, so get them off. Shall we do it? Let's do it. Full power, everything's good to go. Spool them up, boys. There we go. A little bit of a light cross breeze by the looks of it. Crosswind even. Synthetic vision transitioning to what we can see of the runway. Oh, the breeze is pretty much straight down the strip. 85 will come around pretty quickly. Like about there. Let's rotate. Rotate. Let's go. Positive rate and all that. A little bit of rudder, mate. Oh, it's a very smooth departure sequence there. We'll go flaps up nice and early. Get that pitch up a little bit, I think. Keep it full power for a tad, and then we'll bring it back to sort of 25 squared or something. But just at the moment, to get us a bit of height, a bit of space a space above this terrain, we'll keep the power in. Take a quick external for you. There you go, departed Revelstoke. Need probably a right-hand turn. Away we go. Always a challenge. That's a beautiful picture though, hey. Jump back inside. do some pilot shit. Continue that sort of 20-30 degree bank turn. Overfly the field. We'll come back on the manifold a tad. Come back on the revs. 25, that's not bad. Pretty bloody close. Continue climbing. We're certainly not. We're not doing best rate here. We should be doing more like about 105 for best rate. Those birds aren't disappointing at all, are they? I told you. There's just some days where they're like, "Yep, you haven't made a video in a while, old man. This is our chance to be heard." And so they are. Keep the manifold in. Anyway, folks, back over the field we go, on climb to 12,000. I'll see you during the cruise. We'll have a look at what this mod actually brings to the aircraft. Alright, quite a long cruise up to 12,000. So, I thought I'd take the opportunity to talk about the documentation a little ahead of schedule. Not going to be a long video, folks, and there's not much to see outside, just quietly. So, the documentation that MG Enterprises puts together for these mods is fantastic. We've talked about it before in other videos. This one's no exception. This is the Baron G58 Realism mod over there. It was .to. There will be a link to it in the description if you want to pick it up for thyself. So version 1 talked about a whole lot of stuff. I know that there's been changes since version 1. I'm not going to mention every single line. I just want to briefly show how much work's gone into the mod. Alright, you can download it and have a look for yourself. We're currently at version 1.5 point something? 1.5.4. Alright, so the very latest change has addressed rudder effectiveness and rudder max angle scalar. That's impressive sounding stuff. Elevator effectiveness and elevator max angle scalar has been tweaked, and the default takeoff trim for a runway start has been reduced to 3 degrees up. So this is very much an iterative process for this guy to do these mods. Very actively engaged with people that provide feedback over there on the .to. And thank you, sir, for the work you've done here in this sim, and also over in X-Plane to make the stock aircraft more accurate. We do appreciate it. So a whole bunch of documentation. This is the changelog. There's also a document for flying tips, which I really should read, and also some operating handbooks and cruise speed references and all sorts of stuff. Half a dozen or so documents that comes with the mod. Well worth checking out if you like to fly the Baron G58, and who doesn't mind a bit of Baron action occasionally. Folks, I will see you in the cruise. Give you some, well, I don't know, give you some further thoughts. Whether they'll be of any value, they may not even be aviation related, but you've got to do something in these videos. We'll see you in the cruise, and then there'll be an approach into Jasper. Job done. So welcome to a rather, well, visually unappealing cruise segment, folks. There's just a lot of this stuff. We've had the anti-icing stuff happening all the way up, and yeah, I don't expect us to actually have much to look at, although we get occasional glimpses of terra firma as we go through. Take this external shot. Nice looking aeroplane, the Baron, eh? You know, I mean, all aeroplanes are nice looking to those that have this aviation disease, but some are better looking than others. You know, and the Baron just, it has, what's that term? Ramp appeal. A Baron on the ground looks the business, and in the air looks pretty nice. This is the later incarnation, the G58. They still being produced by our friends over there at Beechcraft? I'm guessing they are. Yeah, nice looking aeroplane. There's the happy couple right there. Can't get Jude visible in the VC, so I've got to admire her from afar. Yeah, a little bit rocky here, a little bit bumpy. Jump back inside. Enough of that. It's all happening. Getting along all right. 165 odd indicated. Tazzing at just under 200. We're sort of full juice here, full manifold anyway, giving us 19 inches up here at float level 120, and we're 2400 on the props. We're leaned out a little. I don't know whether we're leaned out for max power, and we're getting some clear skies ahead. Oh, we're not gonna climb high enough to get through it. So yeah, there's just a whole lot of grey here, folks. So I might end the cruise portion at this flight, at this point even, and see you for what's hopefully a more visually stimulating approach into Jasper. Look at that. We've got something to look at. Other than an instrument display. Beautiful hills here of Canada. I thought I'd mention that this mod comes with 2 variants. So this one that I'm flying now is the standard, the normally aspirated version of the Baron. There's also a turbo version that the mod author has kindly provided. So that's pretty good value, hey? Hey, cheap at twice the price, you might say. So thank you again to Mr. MG Enterprises for this aircraft. Hey, look at that. That's much better. That's a much more cinematic experience for the kind viewers there on YouTube. A shout out to you all. Welcome to new subscribers. A special thank you to long-term subscribers. Thank you for staying the course. Thank you for prolonging your suffering. But no, thank you for all of the support. I mentioned earlier that it is getting a little difficult to actually come up with ideas for videos. I'll keep making videos as long as I enjoy it, as long as there is, I don't think there's a demand for my content, but people do seem to get something out of it, a bit of an escape, a bit of entertainment from time to time. So I'll keep making it as long as those 2 things remain valid, but yeah, the frequency of the videos, I was doing sort of, 2 a week or something last year. The frequency's dropped off already this year, may drop off even more, and there's a whole bunch of reasons for that. But anyway, folks, we've got to complete this video, and we'll see you for the approach into Jasper. Alright, concluding stages, folks, down about 7 miles to run. I'm not sure what the elevation is at Jasper. I mean, that would require a level of preparation and professionalism that I just do not possess. We might go autopilot off here. Georgie, brake. Get rid of that flight director as well. Jasper's sort of around the corner at about 6 miles, somewhere over there around the corner. It's been a beautiful, gentle descent, weaving our way through the hills, following the river, whatever river this is, and yeah, generally just staying away from terra firma. Been very nice indeed. Now, what's the you can get approach flap out in the Baron? Is it at 150 or 160, something like that, can't you? Well, we're at 150. 4 miles to run. Let's take approach flap. See how we go. Retrim for that. Runway 31 is going to be the go into Jasper. Probably not going to see much of the runway surface. That's alright. We'll slow down. We'll get some gear out. I think I can see a runway out there. Would be a runway roughly orientated 31, you reckon? I think so. We'll take gear as well. Not too bad for profile, maybe a little low. Zoom in on that range a little bit. There he goes, right alongside the river. Is that the strip? Kind of hoping that it is, although it's a little difficult to tell. It's 12 o'clock from here. That's 12 o'clock. I think we're okay. Wide arc is at 120. A little bit breezy. Actually, it's not. The breeze is pretty light. Just a little bit choppy. Is that a runway? I'm calling it a runway. 3-1. It's kind of small. 3-2. Oh no, is he badly miscalculated? We're going to retrim here. Get a little bit slow. Go fully fully fine on the props. Is that indeed a runway? A little concerned at this point. I'll be honest with you, 85 knots. Getting more concerned by the second. Is that a runway? We've got a complete whiteout at this point. There's no runway on the synthetic display. We're going to go around. The gear's going to come up as we do so. We're going to get some flap up as well. Is that, in fact, a runway? Let me jump outside for a minute. Try and orientate myself here. Was that a runway? Geez, I tell you what, it's tempting. It really is tempting that that's a runway. Let's turn it back around to the left, mate. We're going to land. Out of a steepish, well, really steepish turn. Nice 60-degree angle of bank there. Don't mind me, folks. Righto. We'll head out back in this direction. A downwind of sorts. Take a view out to the left-hand side. I'm going to guess that that down there... We're calling it a runway, regardless of whether it appears on the synthetic display or not. The only video I'll make probably the rest of this month, and I've completely screwed it up. That's what you get on this channel. That's how it is sometimes. We sim in the raw. There's no, well, I was going to say there's no editing. Well, there is editing. I cut a whole lot of crap out so that my viewers don't have to suffer as much as I do. And we'll take gear again. Of course, now we've lost our sight picture of the strip. This is where the old track IR and all that sort of stuff would come in handy. Oh look, bugger it. There's going to be a runway somewhere. There it is. Don't let it get too slow though, mate. Approach number 2, Jasper, Canada. Here we go. Actually enjoyed flying this aeroplane. I'm clearly not doing a very good job of it, but it's been a long time since I've flown a simulated Baron. Very capable aeroplane. This is an FS economy run as well. I probably discounted its value in FS economy. It's about 90 knots for the approach, maybe a little quick. Complete whiteout here. Going to be rather difficult to judge the flare. Nothing on the synthetic terrain. Starting to see some ground. Come off the power. There's some grass. Into a bit of a flare. Yeah, not much. Don't want to get too fancy with the flare. And we also landed with a nice tailwind as well. Yeah, terrible approach. I think we've completely missed the strip. But we're down, and today I'm going to take that, folks, as the flaps come up. There we go. Let's kill the engine as well. FS economy logs the flight. That's all that really matters, folks. Thanks for your company in another video. This has been a look at the Baron mod. 2 mods actually in one, by MG Enterprises. Thank you again, mate. Thanks for your company, and folks, we'll see you in a future video sometime, somewhere. Stay safe, enjoy your simming, and bye for now.